I'm Rod Duff, your host.
And I'm producer Barbie.
And together,
we bring you our podcast,
Insights and Straight Talk. And with that, producer Barbie and I are out. Isn't that cool? I did that this morning, actually. And I've got a really exciting, literally, been a idol of mine for how long, Jannel? 20 years or something like that. We've known each other. She comes out of Fullerton, California, well, Anaheim, but big story here because we're connected, and she actually tried to do as best she could to give me a vocal voice. We got a little bit there, but I'm going to show a little pre-video here, and then I'm going to bring Jannel out. She's been a author, podcaster. She's got an amazing story. Her sister. We talked about this the other day, guys, right? And so I've been really excited about this because listen to this, and then I'm going to take it off present and bring Jannel on in. This is going to be. She is doing tomorrow at. You got to fill in the facts, Jannel. I'm a little clueless at times, so let's start the video and we'll get going. Hold on. I'm going to have you say hi.
It's not working. Her video. Her video. There's no
I can't
sound.
hear you. I got music in the background. Can you hear it?
Yeah, but it's not playing on the video live stream.
It's not playing on the video live stream? Oh my God. Okay, so hey, guess what, guys? I screwed up again, it looks like. Jannel, I guess that didn't play on the live stream. I'll hit it again towards the end there. Sorry, guys. Let me take this off. And let's do. Hello there, beautiful. How you doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing really good. I got a call from producer Barbie. You saw her in the introduction. And I said, hey, I can't talk right now. I got music playing. She goes, yeah, but it wasn't going on the live stream, I guess, huh? I thought I shared it. Or did you see it?
I saw it and it was very...
I know that was the thing I was going to bring up on the laptop, on my share. Over here, it was playing really well. I mean, just like it is. And then I was noticing that it wasn't playing that well at all. What inspired you to write your first song, Jannel? We'll get into all that in a second. And believe me, it'd probably kick up here in a little bit. But let's talk about your journey and what you're doing. You have a podcast that's dedicated to that as well. A very good one. I love your studio. Sure.
Thank you.
The heck out of mine. I have an unaesthetic presentation, but hopefully the message comes through. So Jannel, we've known each other forever. I'm not going to take any of your thunder here at all. At least try not to. Give your story. I mean, how did we'll get into his, save that question for a minute, but how did it all come about? I mean, remember, I used to hang out in your studio.
Yes, you did. You did.
I did. So let us know.
So, what do you want me to talk about exactly? You asked what inspired my first song. Do you want to start there, or was that like a later?
You know what? I didn't put this out. Sorry. Somebody has already asked a question. That's all I was
Somebody,
saying.
Todd Martin. Hi,
Yeah,
Todd.
yeah. Hey, Todd. What I was saying is start the journey, and we'll come back to his question here in a bit. How did it all play out? What brought you into Mo's? Talk about, and then real brief. We'll pop right by that because I want that connection.
Okay. Well, Todd's question is actually a good question to start with, if that's okay.
100.
When I was 3 years old, I sang for the first time in church. I had a solo, or at least I thought it was a solo. I don't know. I was 3, so that's what I remember. And it was away in the manger with all the, the little actions that kids do. And I remember that moment like it's a snapshot of my life. And I knew that's what I wanted to do. And I remember what the people were wearing. I remember everything about that moment. That this is my life. I'm going to sing. Yeah. So I started begging my parents for a piano. I begged for 5 years. There was no money. We had 7 kids. I was the oldest girl, and there was just no money. So 5 years went by, and my cousins, at the poorest time of we were always on the poverty level, but that particular year when I was in 3rd grade as an 8-year-old, my father was very sick. He couldn't work at all. My mother fell and hurt her knee and had knee surgery, so neither could work. So they basically said, here's the kids, Jannel. I know you're 8, but you need to take care of them. They didn't say I know you're 8, but I'm, filling in the blanks. So that became my job, is taking care of my siblings. Well, my cousins decided that year that it would be a good idea to give us their piano, their old out of tune piano. And there was a little old lady down the street. I know, her name was Vera Sutton. And she was introduced to me by a classmate named David. And David taught me.
Here we go.
He taught me that, and it had 4 chords in it. And those 4 chords, and Vera Sutton, who gave me piano lessons for free or whatever my parents could come up with that week, got me playing the piano. And that song, those 4 chords that I didn't even know were called chords, inspired my first song. As soon as I knew those chords, I started writing. So I was meant to be a songwriter, but didn't know it until I played the piano. And I've been writing ever since. So that was a good question to get me started. And then my little sister, her name's Gina. She's a year younger than I am. She was the outgoing one, the big one. I was brave to sing in front of people, but not open my mouth. And she spoke for me. And when we met new friends, when we went to different places, she always went ahead and she met the people and brought them to me because I was that shy. I was so shy. And when we performed, there were 4 of us girls and we performed all the time. I played piano. I told my sisters what to do, even though I didn't know what I was doing.
Are we still about 8, 10?
8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We were performing. And I was telling my sisters what to sing. I didn't even know what I was doing, but I was telling them. Somehow I knew, but I don't know. I taught them all to sing, even though no one taught me. But anyway.
Are you serious?
My sisters are all great singers, like amazing singers.
Wow. That's
anyway,
cool.
They're better than me. So I guess I was very strict.
You did a good job.
I was far more
good job.
With my sisters than I am with my current students. But anyway, I don't know what that's about. I guess with family, you can be like,
100%.
So anyway, the moral of the story is my sister did all my speaking for me. I did not do it. And then I went away to college and I was in a band and I had to talk. And I didn't want to talk. I was fine with singing. It was so nerve-wracking. And finally, I learned how, through a series of events, I learned how to talk. But the thing is, my sister disappeared 25 years ago, the one who spoke for me. And the irony is now I am speaking for her. And for so many families of the missing, someone so painfully shy that I would have rather done almost anything than speak in front of people. And now here I am, I've been doing PR for missing people for 25 years. I've been
Your tour
speaking.
too, right?
Excuse me?
You've got an entire tour dedicated to this.
The
The
Squeaky Wheel
the
tour.
boss and all. Yeah,
Mhm.
Squeaky Wheel. So go on. So
That's
that
okay.
was always something. My first knowledge of that bus, man. That Squeaky tour. Sorry, tour. That tour bus. That was awesome, man. I think we were both kind of young, but you were doing it. I was exposed to that for the first time, and I was like just in awe. It was so cool. So yeah, continue on. I just had to say something about that. It was a memory. You talk about a memory, right?
Yeah. So what happened is after my sister disappeared, I realized that there are so many families of the missing that don't know how to do their PR. They don't know how to talk to the media. They don't even know how to talk to the police a lot of times, or they're afraid of the police. They're afraid of law enforcement. And when I, for 6 months, did everything I could to find my sister, I got to the end of the rope. I got to the end of the road. I had looked everywhere I knew to look. I had tried every media outlet that I could find. And national media wouldn't take her story because we didn't have a suspect. We didn't have a scandal. We didn't have all the things they wanted. I wasn't famous enough. She wasn't famous. So they said the story was murky because we had nothing. Murky, I don't know. But anyway, so after that final no from national media, I got instantly depressed. It was a moment, I don't know if I've ever went from okay to instant depression that put me to sleep in the middle of the afternoon. I was so depressed, but that day it happened. I think it was the only time in my life. Not that I haven't been depressed before, but not like, ooh, like someone stuck a pin in me. So I fell asleep and I woke up in the middle of the night around about 2 or 3 a.m. and I sat up in bed and something said, just do what you already do. And what I had been doing is promoting my own tours, doing my own PR, booking my own stuff. So I thought, I'm going to do that, but I'm going to partner with artists around the country. And I'm going to ask them to highlight missing people. And I'm going to get the PR for those people that don't know how to do their own. So I was able to do that. We did 13 events from LA to New York City. And we had a look, listen, and pass it on CD. And we asked people to look, listen, and pass it on. It had the faces of 13 different missing people on it. After our New York City event, 3 days after, somebody was found from that CD because they were handed that CD. And
the picture on the back?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Wow. Whoa.
And a teenager who didn't realize how much his parents, what links they would go to find him. He was missing from Indianapolis. Here I am in LA. But his mother found out what I was doing through the roots of other families of the missing. And he was the last person we put on that CD. We were already going to print. And she called me and 12 fit on there. But how do you fit a 13th? But we fit the 13th on, and he was the one that was found. And I remember it's all these pivotal moments. So I remember that moment. I had to sit down when I got the phone call that he was found because I couldn't find I might cry because every time I say this, it brings tears to my eyes. I couldn't find my own sister. So how could I find somebody else's sister or brother or mother or father or friend? But I knew I could get PR. I knew how to do that. I could get local media for that person. And when he was found, I went, whoa, this is a life changer. I have to do this. I have no choice because I'm meeting a need. And my parents taught me when I was a little girl, because of all those kids that I had to take care of, they taught me, if you see a mess, Jannel, and you have the time and you can do it, you need to clean it up. It doesn't matter if it's your mess, if you made the mess, you clean it up. And so I learned that from early on. And this was a mess that I could clean up. this was something I could do. And I got to tell you, with the current environment, with the rift in our populace, the big continental divide between us, has
That's true.
on me and made me so depressed. And so, like, I have been trying to find what I can do, and I find myself feeling like that 8-year-old girl. What can I do to make a difference? And I realized that I can only do the little things. I made myself so upset and so obsessed with trying to find that one thing that I could do. And I realized people with huge platforms are not able to bring this together. And so who am I to say? And then I thought, am I ego driven? I'm this 8-year-old girl who's like trying to climb this mountain that my parents had me climbing at 8 years old. You know, when you're 8, you think you can do it. You don't know that you can't do it. So you just do it. And I think I'm still 8 years old, honestly. So this national crisis has been like, whoa, Jannel, scale it back, scale it back. So I guess my message really is that we can all do something, but it's tiny. Here's my cape up. It's a tiny thing. You know, we can change the pitch on our guitar. We can, you know, we can do little things. And if we all do our own little part, that is bringing us back together. That is bringing the love back. That is bringing the dream back. That, you know, but we can't give up on the little things counting. And I had this I was trying to climb this big mountain thinking it's this big thing I can do, but it's, you know, I'm still not famous. I've been doing this for 25 years. I am still not any big household name, but over 3,000 people that we have been able to collectively profile in 14 different countries and all over the US have been found. So that's something. It's something. If we all do our little something, it can over time make a difference.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, this show. Look at when as you were telling your story. Look at how many people got on. We had about 40 for the first, 10 minutes or 15 minutes, but all of a sudden it shot up like heck. That is exactly right what you're saying, and you know that. I'm just saying it for momentum and to answer you. This show is based on the needs, the concerns, and all of that, and about bringing together the great middle class because of what you just said. I mean, my God, I was listening to it, and I like the guitar. Hold up your little thing again. Everyone does that like that, and then gets to know their neighbor. You know, the whole thing in there when we got into the science of stuff, and we were all quarantined in our houses forever. That just all that did is just keep that going. I mean, you're saying, society is torn apart. You've got people way over here, and you got people way over here. Actually, almost 80% of everybody's like in the middle, but we're just getting thrown apart, and it started when we didn't start talking. We need to start talking. That's where the power, everybody's little bit becomes a big bit, and then that has effects on policies and so forth. We don't get involved enough right now, so we're just along for the ride. Jannel, you're so right. We have to come together, so to speak. What is the Beatles? Come together right now.
Yeah.
All right.
We just need to do what we can do as individuals, and everybody has different skills and talents, and
exactly
different people, and they have a different reach. Even if it's just one person, you don't know what that one person can go out and do because you reached out to them, or you listened to them, or you tried to meet with them. I think we're not listening anymore. We've heard this. No. Our media is so divided. It's so depressing. And it's, I spent a good deal of time, which is part of the reason I got so depressed, but I spent a good deal of time listening to everything I could, all sides and in the middle and every which way. And you know what? There's bias everywhere. There's bias
Both
everywhere.
sides.
There is some middle ground where people just really just kind of give you the nuts and bolts of the news. But opinions are opinions. And the truth is
And every news station.
the truth
and
is
the-
we have to dig for truth. It is gold. So just accepting what someone says, a little soundbite, that is so like that. We can't accept it as truth. A soundbite is not the truth. It's a soundbite. It's a soundbite to pull the listener in. And we need to dig deeper. If we want the truth, we need to talk to our neighbors. And as a music teacher
Yes.
at your mom's store, I have people of all ages that take music lessons from me. They have all different viewpoints, and I can talk to all of them, no matter what my viewpoint. So one-on-one is where we need to meet. And that's where we can unite as a group of people and heal our land.
And
It's up
not
to
only
us. It's up
can,
to the people to
we
heal
have
us.
to do this.
We have no choice now. It's up to us because the people with the big platforms are not pushing that. They're not pushing that agenda. That has to be us. And we are the heart of the country, the
We're the
people.
backbone.
We are the
We're the
backbone and the
backbone.
heart. We're the creators. We keep our lives going, our families going. It's up to us.
Yeah.
We need to
We
look
need
in the
to do that.
mirror. It's reflection time.
Yeah. Such an amazing. You know what? I did not expect to go into that, but man, I'm cheerleading for you. That is, I mean, your mission is obviously beginning to help in uniting people. And now I see why you get this focus on people coming together, because it's like you said, it's so hard to get these little points in. Although I think the mission's going to get, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but you know, there's a lot going on with trafficking and all that right now, right? It's huge. I mean, 300,000 kids that cross the border that nobody knows where they are. What the heck's up with that? I'm sorry. I'll get off that. But it's crazy because this has been rumoring forever. You said it's not being picked up and talked about. I agree with you. And it should be. My God, it's one of the most important things. I mean, in war, we lose our next generations. And in this, 300,000 women, or I think they're mostly girls, could have existed in the world, which, you know, would bring on next generation. All that it's now, and you know this, it just brings depression and sadness to the rest of the family while not building the next generation. Sad. It really is. Let's hit a couple of things here.
Okay.
I've got like 10 questions I'm way behind on.
All right.
Love how you blend music with your advocacy. Did you ever meet Joe Heap, a friend of mine?
I don't think so.
Looks okay. Anyway, there's a lot of things that can be, like you said, tucked together, because I know a couple of different bands that do that same thing. They play for causes to, like we're doing, try and bring more attention. So we got to just keep doing that. It's awesome. How can others support the cause? Great question, Tobias.
There's a few ways. You can go to 411gina.org. That's 411gina.org. And you can donate on there. You can also go on there and look for missing, and you can choose a missing person from your area, and you can share their flyer on social media and ask your friends to share, and people are found that way.
Oh, wait. How does that work right there? That's a big deal right now. That seems massive. And by the way, let's talk about that. But before the end of the show, please put in it's in the details, but in the private chat, and I'll put it into the chat. And you don't have to do it right this second, but all these, you know, Gina.
Oh, I see it.
411. Okay. So when you get a chance here, but talk more about this. Locating on your 411 at Gina.
411gina.org, go to missing. And then when you see the missing, you can look them up by state, country, or if you happen to know of a missing person in your area, you can look it up alphabetically. So there's three ways you can look it up. And then you
Easy
find
to
their
do.
flyer and there's a PDF of it. There's different versions of the flyer. And then you can share it on social media and ask your friends to share.
I mean, why wouldn't anybody not do that? I mean, and sorry, I'm not badgering you guys, but yeah, I mean, it's so simple and it's so important. It's, I mean, on many levels, personal, mental. I mean, that's an effect. I mean, depression, you know, and you get it takes out chunks of a life that should be more full, and it isn't. Not as much color, right?
Well, there's a lot of color.
Oh no, I know, but you know what I'm saying. That there's
Maybe not
layers.
colors you want to see, but they're there.
That's a good point. That was good. Okay, we got. Hey, let's do a little bit more of that because what we use those in our advertising clips and stuff because I like to promote. Hey, we're here having fun while we're talking about important things. But now, look, people are drawn to listen in because we're not just going blah blah blah. You know, no offense here, and then you answer back. I like to kind of screw around with the people out there. They're into it, man. So you were talking about the share the social link, and you had some more to go, but I stopped you there because that's a no-brainer right there.
Okay. And then if you are a musician or you know musicians or you have a venue or you have a connection to someone who has a venue, you could go to 411gina.org and connect with us. You can become a Gina artist. You can be part of the Squeaky Wheel tour. There's a number of things that we do.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, this isn't a 5-minute a week hobby, is it? There's some development here. You're really doing an amazing job on I'm not telling you anything you don't know and nothing that I don't already know, but just to kind of lay it out here. Just love what you're doing. I mean, it's right here. Van Breda, Sanet, thank you. You're not me. You're inspiring. Any advice for emerging artists who want to make an impact? Something you just talked about just now. Join our tour.
You can join the tour. The other thing that I tell artists, and I learned this a long time ago, if you have something else that you like to do, I don't know, woodworking, whatever, and you combine that with your music somehow. I don't know how you would do it with woodworking, but it's just, I'm just naming something. You combine it, you become something unique. And then you have a niche, you create a niche by finding even just list things you like to do. Like, I never thought I'd be a PR person. I was so shy, but when I became, what happened is I was a solo artist. So sometimes you got to look at your life and how your life trajectory went and the different skills that came in because of it. So I had a record label, and my record label hired a PR person to do the PR, like a professional. And I, because of a series of events, I had kind of learned how to do it myself. I let them do it, but then I decided I was going to kind of do a little bit. And I got the front page of several papers. This is back in the day when front page above the fold was a big deal. Now it's like, does anyone read the paper? But this is back in that day.
Is that the Pulitzer? Is that the Pulitzer Award that was at the Sun Times? I think it was. It's on your.
No, I didn't.
Somebody.
Win that.
Oh no, that was an interview, right?
Yeah, I had an interview. Yeah.
But its title was prize winning, right? I mean, it got a lot of.
It sounded like it was better than it was. You sound bites. They're grabbing the people in, and then they read it, and they're like, "What? I didn't see anything about that." Yeah, they're just luring you in. It's just a hook. Anyway.
Little salesmanship there, right?
Yeah. I don't, I personally don't like those big hooks so much, because then you just keep reading or keep listening, hoping for that hook to answer, and then it never does. And you're like, I wasted 25 minutes.
And you're so mad at the end of it because you were really interested, that little thing they opened up with, and then
they never satisfy. They don't satisfy.
Never. It sucks.
But anyway, so yeah, I didn't win anything like that. But so above the fold days, back in those days. So if you have something like that where you ended up gaining a skill, look at that skill and see how you compare it with your music and make yourself a unique artist.
Wow, yeah.
And then you'll have a unique audience. Like, I know one girl who, she saw what I did with Missing People and my sister and my music, and I put it together. And she had a lot of illness due with allergies. And so she created a platform where all these parents with kids with severe allergies would come to her shows, and she would speak to them, and she became a voice for them. So there's, you never know. You can take almost anything and create a new platform for yourself. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, that's a great answer. That little hook there at the end was right in. Can we get more performances from this venue before it closes for good? Oh, wow, that's a bit of a turn. I didn't read that. If you can shove Jannel out on Friday, I don't know how big you are, Sam, but if you can bully her off, I mean, that's your only chance, really, isn't it? It's all done now, right? I don't know, unfortunately.
I believe they're going to be done this weekend with the room that you could perform in. And next weekend, they're going to be moving everything else out or whatever. Almost everything's sold.
Yeah, no, I've been watching. Where do they have a venue at that new location?
They do. It's a small little venue. It seats about 50 people. It's similar to the old Mo's.
The cave?
Yeah, the cave. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Well, everything was a little bigger and a little bit more Mo, right? So there's that. And then I'm getting way behind. Now I'm about 12 behind. Hey, you said you had some stuff. Are you okay on time?
I can answer these questions.
Okay, well, I got like 10 of them.
Okay, let's go.
So, all right, let's run. How do you stay emotionally connected to your lyrics on Save? Oh, that's the whole thing. It connects you. That's what makes music, right?
Well, I'll tell you something I do, and you might think it's a little weird. And I've only been doing it. Everything I do is a little weird, but
I was going to say that. I really, you're saying that you're weird? You don't know me as well as I thought you did.
Yeah, well, artists, we're our own breed, but I actually think everybody's an artist. I don't think, just because you play music or you paint or whatever it is that your art form is, that makes you this special category. I think we're all creative beings, and we just don't get enough credit for that as humans. But so I don't think I have, artists have the handle on creativity. The people that are in the box of artists, I think we're all artists. But anyway, how do I stay emotionally connected? I, most recently, the last few years, have decided, instead of picking the songs that I feel like I want to talk about, or I feel like are the best songs for my concert, or whatever it is, I have started asking myself, what do the people need to hear? What are the people that are coming to the show needing? Now, of course, I can't do an interview with all of them, but I have to feel it in me. And since I've been doing that, songs drop in me. And sometimes at the last minute, a song will get booted out and another one will come in. Or sometimes I will feel like I need to write a new song on the spot. And so I do. And what happens is my audiences have changed dramatically as far as how much what I'm doing affects them. And it puts me more in the moment of that lyric, even though before I really tried to really be in the lyric and really communicate, because it's all about communicating. So if I think about communicating, I'm not thinking so much about, am I playing the right note? Am I singing the right note? Am I doing this? About all the things. I'm just saying, I got to communicate. That's the most important thing, not how I look, not what I'm doing, not what I'm wearing, not if my hair is a crazy mess, whatever, I'm just communicating. And if I focus on communicating, then I automatically, did I lose you? I automatically do a better job.
I knew that was going to happen, so I touched it real quick. I've got a bunch of instead of me doing this while you're making a great point and they're looking at my ear hole, I like to jump off because I'm the only one reading these things. And so anyway, go ahead. I'm here. I swear to God, I'm in the green room.
That's pretty much the wrap up on that. Is just think about the communication. Think about that 100%. You want to communicate these lyrics, that either it's a cover song that you love so much that you love the lyrics, or if it's your own song that came from your own life experience, I want to make sure they get every word and feel every emotion I felt when I felt like this was the best thing I could write on that day.
That's cool. That's awesome. Well, and it's what writing music's all about, right? I mean, that's the difference of, well, they love you. We're almost at 300.
Okay,
we got a bunch of fans out there. So what is the story behind the concert being the last one at Moe's? Do we really want to jump on that, or do you have a better?
Well,
I'm not going to say anything.
Moe's is closing,
right?
And so there won't be a chance.
Fullerton, California.
Fullerton, California. It's been there for 70 plus years, I guess. And your mom, how long did she own it? 40 plus?
Yeah, she. So Brandon was a baby. 45, I think.
45 years.
About 45 years, yeah.
So it was Fullerton Music, and then they still call it Fullerton Music, but Moe's Fullerton Music. And Moe is, do you go by Rod or JR?
I go by Rod now.
Okay, so Moe is Rod's mother, and just a go-getter, just like unbelievable ability to run a business, especially a music business.
Oh my God, she was crazy.
And she kept it alive all that time. She was amazing, an amazing businesswoman. Yeah, just amazing human being.
I'm jealous of her. I followed in her tracks too, and man, she just outrun you. And I've got a lot of energy. I mean, I get it from her, obviously, and it's awesome.
You do. You pushed me to come here today because I wasn't going to do it. So you're tenacity.
I know you weren't. I knew you weren't. I was like, I was wanting to say that in the beginning. We had to arm wrestle for her and I to agree to come in here.
It's not that I don't want to be here. It's just that it just happens to be a busy time.
No, you were talking about it. I know. I was just trying to tweak it a little bit more. Russ, what do you got here? How do you balance music, podcasting? Well, it's all together, right? Music, podcasting, and advocacy. That's a lot of work.
I do a lot of pretending like I only have one thing to do.
Oh. So
otherwise, I feel like it's too big. So I try to make it all one thing. Even though it's not, it's all these different juggling. I'm juggling this and juggling that, but then I go, okay, just one thing. And the one thing is that everything that I do, I want it to be about making the world a better place. However, I can do that in my own little tiny way. If I can change the key of a guitar, then I can do something small to make a difference. And that's all I feel like my life is about. It's not about being a huge star or writing the best song, although I'd love to write the best song ever. But, maybe those have already been done, or I don't know. I just have to do the best thing I can today. Absolutely. Be the best me I can today, and then just try to love people and connect with people. And do I fail? Yeah, I fail all the time. But that's my ball. I try to keep it all there.
And you do it very well. You've been doing it for a while, and through difficulties and everything else.
Oh, lots of them.
You gotta open up the day with a vibe that is worthy of other people entering into your vibe and improving theirs. I mean, you have to have a positive effect, and that comes from giving and commitments and activities that are beyond your own self. What's your most memorable performance so far in your life? Don't tell me the 3-year-old one either.
No, it's not.
I know.
Although it's very memorable.
I know.
Because I remember that one, but don't remember a lot in between. I would say last year, 2024, October 17th. So my sister disappeared October 17th, 2000.
Okay. Right.
In 2024, the state of Nebraska, where my sister disappeared, the legislators decided and voted on and went through all the stages of legislation to name October 17th Nebraska Missing Persons Day. And we had this large event with a choir, and I wrote a song about my sister in 2005 called October 17th.
You're going to make me cry now.
Oh.
You're going to make me cry now. Go on.
And so I had friends from high school, because I'm from Lincoln,
Wow.
Nebraska originally. I had friends from high school that I used to sing with, and middle school, and other friends that all came and joined me in singing October 17th, as well as my siblings. And at the end of the song, where we do this repeat thing, it's been raining since October 17th, and it's layered with all these different vocals singing different parts. We had the families of the missing holding these big posters. And the first one was, it's been raining since October 17th. And then the next one, it's been raining since January 11th. It's been raining since February 12th. It's been raining since March, whatever. And we went through all the families that were there, and they held up, they all went up there, and it was just this moment. And I would say that that's my most memorable performance. I won't say I did the best, because I was very tired and very teary-eyed, but it was the most memorable because the impact of 24 years of work, and that they chose my sister's date of disappearance to go down through the annals of history to bring the families of the missing together from now on in that state is big.
That is big. That's really big. I mean, I could see why that comes out of a very memorable time. Speaking of, here we go. Sorry, did I miss you have a book on your life? Ronaldo, by the way, is a good friend of mine. We're trying to work some things that she's one of those artists you talk about.
Okay. But I have a book called 30 Days in a Life. It's in process of being edited, but it's out there. You can actually purchase it in the kind of raw version. It's been out there since 2007, and I have another book coming out soon.
Is it audio version and written version? I mean, how's it work? The old
I don't think it's offered audio at this point, but you can purchase it in Kindle form or paperback and hardcover. Yep. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. Everything's going digital nowadays. Isn't
I
it?
know.
Thanks, Ronaldo. Talk soon. That's a tough one. Jannel, how can fans support Gina Foundation? You talked a little bit about this earlier, and she probably came on a little bit later. So
okay, you can go to 411gina.org and donate. I'm going to start a fundraiser. It's been 25 years since my sister disappeared, so I'm going to ask people for $25, $250. Or $2,500 or
25,000, 2.5 million. Give it. No,
whatever,
Hey, do you have a fund me? What do they call that? Have you ever done that?
GoFundMe. I'm going to do a Facebook fundraiser soon for that.
Good.
But in the meantime, you can go on to 411gina.org and donate that way. Also, I'm trying to find more families of the missing in Nebraska. There is not a database. We have to go to individual law enforcement agencies, talk to them. We have to do research to find out who's still missing. It's a really big job. So what I'm trying to do is on social media, get the word out that way, so that we can let more families know that we're there for them, because this is a new thing. We just started last year. Last year, even though it was new, we had families of the missing from all over the world that came. Because that is how
All
desperate
over the
we are.
world.
Because we had a woman fly in from the UK whose son is missing from Canada. We had a mother from Pennsylvania come in. We had a mom or a wife from New Jersey come in. We had people from all over coming to talk about their missing, tell the story, because it is that hard to get attention for them once there was nothing new in the case. That's why we do the events, because media will cover an event coupled with a missing person, but media will not cover a missing person with nothing new on their case.
Yeah.
So we are the new on their case.
Yeah, that's good. That's awesome. That's a good strategy, man. I mean, there's your what did you call it earlier when you started doing your own production? Not production, but
Your hook, your soundbite, your PR.
PR. Thank you. So that's excellent, man. Great PR right there, and let's keep that rolling. Biggest musical influence? I don't know if we want to jump off the other, but I mean, Jeffrey's.
Really, it's a plethora of people. I couldn't pinpoint one person. I love great songs, most of all in any genre, and I love voices that tell the story, that you can tell mean it.
And I'll just add, I love 60s and 70s and a little bit of 80s. We lived in probably the best musical period of time for. I'm biased anyway. I know the younger kids say rappers and all that, but man, that music is just all that message, right? It's just very cool. Jeffrey, follow-up question here. Is there a message always, and you mentioned this, always weave through your songs? This message.
Really, that the most important thing that we can leave as a legacy is loving each other and our fellow. You can leave money, you can leave a house, you can leave, all kinds of things. You can leave jewelry, you can leave keepsakes, but if you don't leave a legacy of love, if that's not the wake that you're leaving behind your ship, then you got nothing. So I try to include that, and I kind of naturally include that at this point in everything.
And you're are you still kind of a country-ish genre in your music, or is it expanded?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what I am. I get in trouble. This is maybe part of the reason why I'm not a bigger name or whatever, but I don't know how to brand myself, because when I write a song, the song tells me how to sing it. So I sing one way on one song, and then I have another song and I sing a different way, and I sing a different way and a different way. So I could be singing blues, or I could be singing more folk singer. I could, I don't know that I was ever country, but we had the country band-ish thing going on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Country pop before country pop became country pop.
Yeah, it was more like Eagles kind of sound.
Yeah. That's a good sound.
How do you stay grounded while doing so much powerful work? Walking. I've made for 15, 20 years, I have walked from 5 to 10 miles a day, and I use it as a meditative kind of thing. Also just getting oxygen. It's good for my body. It's good for everything.
Yeah, no doubt. And getting that air.
It grounds me.
Endorphins.
Yeah.
We kind of talked about this already a little bit, but are there other artists joining? I guess, what are some of the artists, I think is what David's more asking, missing person events? Throw out a couple artists that are something like, I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. Do you?
But mostly indie artists.
Thank you, David.
Yeah, mostly indie artists. We have had some, more famous artists that have helped us in some ways, like James Valentine and Adam Levine of Maroon 5. But James
Whoa.
Valentine, they helped us out with some donations of, guitars and things like that. And Susan Gibson, who wrote Wide Open Spaces for the Dixie Chicks.
Yes.
And, we've had people lend their name to us because we had a Grammy page twice. We were in the Grammys program twice. And so we had famous people that lend their name for our page, like Christina Aguilera and a bunch of, I can't remember all the names at that, but for some reason her name, Meatloaf,
Meatloaf.
Ted Lange, I don't know, they're starting to come to me, but yeah. So, but mostly indie
That's quite
artists.
a list.
Yeah, mostly indie artists that are local to where we're having the events, because they're the boots on the ground, so to speak, which that person that was talking about, how do I focus my, what can I do? If you find art, if you're going to do a tour, find some artists in that area that have similar music that you can do a gig with, and then you can share. They can bring people, you can bring people, and you have, you start to build a fan base in that area.
That's a good idea. That's really smart. Amy wants to know about a new single or album coming out.
I'm working on all of that. I have a bunch of new songs coming out.
That's cool. Are we talking this in 2025?
Yeah, I just put out a new song called, Can't Stop Watching. What a performance. Oh, thank you. I just put out a new song called Somebody's Gotta Work. And that's the one that speaks about somebody's got to work around here. Somebody's got to love around here. Somebody's got to give around here. Somebody's got to do around here. If you see somebody that needs a door open the door. We're not asking you to scale a mountain. We're just asking you open a door for somebody. Carry a package. Say a kind word. Say, oh, you have beautiful eyes. Anything can raise the vibration or the level for that person. You don't know what people are going through. You don't know what burden they're carrying. If you make that connection, you can lighten their load, and then maybe they can lighten someone else's load. And eventually we can come back together. Because we really are together in our hearts. I think deep down in our hearts, there is a thread that connects us all, no matter how far off we are. There is a thread.
Yeah.
We all want the same thing. We all want a good future for our children. And that's the pinnacle to me. That's the question that we need to ask for every decision we make. Is it good for the children? If it's no,
don't do it. Get off of it. Just go away, right? I use the word frequency, like, because we all have a frequency, like this, Ariel here, great show, loving the vibes, but also it's frequency. We talked about creating a vibe around you. It's a vibe that is based on frequency, and that we affect each other. You said we're all connected, 100%, absolutely. Trees heal each other. I mean, there's a lot of big stuff out there. So loving the vibe. Thank you very much. Loving you being here. Branson, big respect for speaking truth. Big time. There's a lot that needs to be done. I think we're done. I think we
all
got
right,
through,
awesome.
All the
So
things.
my podcast, though, America Lost and Found podcast. The premise for the show is you think it's about missing people. And I do have families of the missing on there. I do have people who found their children. But the premise of the show is I have guests who have had something happen in their lives, who have, because of that loss, they have found a tool. Because I believe loss brings us a gift. And it is a tool for life. And it is a tool to take us to the next level. We can open our arms to it, or we can shut off from it. And I'm not saying that we don't need to do the grieving. We need to go through the process of grieving. We need to let the grief go through us. We need to go through all of it. Otherwise, it stays inside. But if we really lose something that's big, and when we feel it big, that means we had big love. We had great love in our lives. And we have the opportunity to share that love with the rest of the world if we use that loss to create a new tool. So the guests on my show have found a way to use their loss instead of let their loss use them. And so that's America Lost and Found podcast. And right now I only have about, it's pretty new. I have not promoted it. I haven't done much. I have about 80 subscribers, so I could use some more
No,
subscribers.
you have more than that. I looked at it this morning. I thought you were
Okay,
like
maybe 90, I don't
900.
know. I feel
No,
like
900.
no, I don't.
Okay. I'll look at it again.
Seriously?
But I thought I saw that.
What
I don't know.
happened?
Hold on. Hold on. I don't want to be. Hey guys, don't start
I think it's
harassing
really
me now.
probably 90. You saw 90 and you put a 0 on there.
Move the decimal point. Yeah, absolutely. Hey guys, Jannel, would you?
It's on
please put-
YouTube. That's the only place I have it so far. YouTube, America Lost and Found podcast.
All right, type it in there for me because you know how shows are. We have
Okay.
guests right now. And,
Do it right now.
and 2 months. Yeah, if you would do that right now. Actually, let's do this. Why don't you play a little chord, wave to everybody, and do it in the green room. Never.
Do what in the green room?
Type. Oh, you're already in. You done? You got it all?
Yeah. And then you need 411gina.org.
Correct. Yeah. 100%. And I'm copying this one and I'm putting it in the comments. And you should be able to see.
And you can also find me at Jannel Rap at JannelRap.com.
your website. I
Yeah.
mean, you're on LinkedIn. You're everywhere, no doubt about it.
I'm trying.
So it's all about social media now. It's a different world now than we grew up in.
That's
it's-
the hard part of the juggling.
It is. I'm automating everything, makes it a lot easier. You got a lot of fans here. I mean, we're just chit-chatting right now, and there's still 270 people. That doesn't always happen. Usually towards the end.
Thank you
So-
for listening. I appreciate it.
Wave to all your friends. I'll put you in the back there. I'll say a little bit goodbye, and then we have an outro video that takes 10 seconds. I'll get back with you in the green room after that. Sound cool?
Okay.
Wait, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
I
I'm
did
back.
it. Man, I all right, I'll see you in a second. My God, man. I thought her hesitation, I'm trying to get that down. I've got it a few times actually, but I don't always get it. So yeah, hey guys, that was awesome, huh? And as I told you, let's see. So here's the other two. Whoop. I'm going to burn a little time here, copy, and I'm going to put this right here, and I'm going to put this right here, and I'm going to go like that. Boom. Okay, you got all the contact information there. I like to do that, I like to do that because people come on, like we'll have, I don't know, a few hundred people that were on the live, but over the next month, you know how there'll be other people that watch it because they couldn't see it live or they came across it or whatever, and they always ask me a question about what the expert. Hey, can you answer me this? And I'm like, I just want to push them on through to you, which is what we're doing together here. So you got to come back on, Jannel, and I'm really excited about all the things. I mean, I knew it when it was basically the tour was kind of growing, and now there's a million other things, and that just shows success and dedication. And like you said, the great middle class, we've got to come together. We got to create those vibes, and we got to unite to make missions that are actually important. The news media and the political officials, they do what they want in their order of importance, and very rarely, except around election time on both sides, I'd be willing to bet there's nobody thinking about anything on the middle class and anywhere they should be. So I'm Rod Duff. This is Insights and Straight Talk with me, your host. And Jannel today was awesome. And producer Barbie, she's out by you now, Jannel, out on the West Coast. So when I say I'm out.
Before you leave, if you'd like to watch another one of the podcasts, click the first link in the description. We love having you here and we appreciate all your support.
And with that, producer Barbie and I are out.